Yes, welcome back. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for staying with us as we start our discussion right here this morning. My guests are seated. I'm very happy to let you know that they are here as we take a look at the topic, U.S. threat. Tinubu vows to defeat terrorism. Analysis of newspaper front pages. First, let us start with the analysis. Now, amidst the continued warning by the United States to undertake a swift bombardment of terrorist enclaves in the country, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to defeating terrorism and strengthening diplomatic ties with Nigeria's global partners. His remarks come days after U.S. President Donald Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, a move the federal government has described as a misrepresentation of the nation's security situation. The president also assured Nigerians that the country remains united and resolute in its pursuit of peace and prosperity. Meanwhile, according to the report, U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM, has submitted several options to the Department of War, responding to a request for operational plans in line with the Trump directive. As military officials say that the proposals labeled heavy, medium, and light outline different levels of potential engagement in Nigeria. All right, this is our focus this morning. If you just joined us, and now let me do the introduction. I have in the house this morning Hassan Sardauna is a political and public affairs analyst. It's so nice to have you this morning.
Thank you, Anire, for having me.
It's been a long while. Where have you been?
I've been around.
Did you travel?
Not at all. I'm a full hometown boy.
so nice to have you this morning.
Thank you for having me too.
Yes.
Yes.
Then I have another guest. He is a barrister, Paul Abhulimen, is a legal practitioner and social affairs analyst. Barrister, it's so nice to have you on the show this morning.
Yes.
I know how busy you are. I remember the conversation to ensure that you get here. I just want to say that I appreciate the fact that you could make it.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. And good morning, Nigerians.
Yes, indeed. So the issues that we have as Nigerians is the pressing one that we have. We just can't stop talking about it. Is this unwelcome, unexpected, anticipated, what can I say, U.S. threat and visits to Nigeria. It is on and on. You go to the marketplace, you'll be shocked. The group of people discussing this unfolding situation is on the lips of everyone. Even the deaf are talking about this situation in the country. We want to take a look at statements made by the president, in reaction to the threats, continued threats from the United States. Most shocking is the fact that it's becoming clearer, it's getting closer, as it were, with the U.S. military sending the proposal labeled heavy, medium, and light. When you read things like this, the reality of what's on ground hits you not just on the face but below the belt. It is a reality that we've come to face right now. But the question I want to start with is, amidst the worsening insecurity, do you agree with President Donald Trump's designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern? That is where we want to start, because the reactions of Nigerians, both home and abroad, is different. We have those that are for, we have those that are against. There are a lot of people that have said no. The United States has been high-handed in taking such a decision. A lot of people have, they view this unfolding with a political eye. Some say, oh, how come it's only oil producing countries that the United States somehow seem to be focused on? A lot of people have said, oh, it's the oil that the United States is concerned about. It goes on and on. Again, do you think the United States saying that designating Nigeria as a country of concern, if they are right in their analysis? Hassan, you're first on the discussion.
Okay, Anire, good morning once again. What I know of is America or United States the most powerful country, the global power, based on his or their decision any day, any time. And I want to assure you that here in Nigeria, it is not now that they're supposed to put us among the country of concern. But the most important things is why is this thing happening now? These are the sins of President Tinubu to most of the Western countries. First, he has a knowledge of who is Americans, what America stands for. And the most unfortunate part of it, amongst us, as you just stated, some are for and some are against. But we that are against it, we are not tripling. We are 10 times of those who are talking, or 100 times of them, those who are saying yes. Because we are a country of sovereignty. We need respect and need to be considered. Secondly, in terms of doing things like this, you need to invite and discuss these things in an open table, whereby we have a president, we have ambassadors, we have foreign affairs ministers, diplomatic citizens that can be discussed with either under United Nations or if they want to invite or have a place to discuss, they know how to discuss it and they can make an investigation. But one of the failures of our leadership, that is, they are not communicating. They don't sensitize. Their contribution towards bringing this mess or bringing this insecurity down is not being told. It's not being seen. People are daft of it. And mind you very well, in Nigeria today, it's very few number. Out of 10 people, you find about 10 to 8 out of the 10 cannot listen to news, neither read newspapers, nothing. All they are after is to hear what the government have done wrong to start criticizing. They believe they stood by. And this thing happened not yesterday. It has been almost 50 years back when Nigerians started losing confidence from their leadership or their leaders. On that reason, we have seen a lot of things. Let me take you back. Just recently, when Mr. President removed the subsidy, this is his sin number one for the Americans. Because those cabals that have been taking and siphoning our money from the so-called subsidy, I'm telling you, the international conspiracy is there. They are benefiting more than any other person. Then secondly, the turning around to make maybe France a best friend for President Ahmed Tinubu has offended the Americans. And mind you very well, the France is the first country that came out and criticized America and what Israel is doing to Palestine at Gaza. And they said they were going to declare war against them at the later day. And he canvassed. They went around to Europe to canvass for the support of state of Palestine in the United Nations, which many have seen that last September, if you are following. Then this thing that you are seeing as if you think it is a single person property, that is Dangote refinery, is a very threat for an African country to have a citizen that can able to invest over $20 billion for the for oil and gas industry. That is a refinery that we're going to treat not less than 650,000 barrels per day. I am telling you that it's another thing for the this government. Just recently, if you could remember, he has put 15% tax to those who are going to import oil from foreign countries. That is the federal government. And it is another thing. If you don't know, for him to register our presence in the BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South African, this group. And now the group is yearning another major acceptance in the global world. It's another United Nations that we are these BRICS are trying to create, or a threat to American, being them the superpower. Then another thing is this: when you are seeing a lot of trucks and whatever in the in the continent of Africa going around for the advantage of the Western world, today Nigeria from Dangote side is taking this advantage. And for that reason, those people that are using this as part of gaining are now losing out of a system, and they are the Americans. And I want to tell you that recently he signed another bond agreement, swap of naira to yen with China. there is nothing like in business in Nigeria is going to deal with China. There will be no talking of dollars. So now again, the dollars are crashing very fast. And the just last one that I can mention to you, there was rumors that there was coup plot, and this coup plotting have failed. And if you go far, finding out, you will hear that the sources was coming from the international countries. And who will I tell you this answer? The last chief of defense staff, General Cristobal Musa, was saying that these terrorists, mostly when they apprehended, they found them with foreign currencies. Where are they getting the foreign currency? And these are the reasons that our president and the federal government and Nigeria at large will going to face a reality of trade. If you are trying to save either a Christians, out of 100%, 35% in Palestine are Christian. The oldest church are in Palestine. And then tell me who's supposed to save them. He should have saved them from the menace of Israel genocide. And he cannot do that. But the next target was who? It's Venezuela. Venezuela is one of the largest countries that are producing oil, which they were using it to benefit more than any other country. That is the US. And today, what is the name of the president? Maduro have said no, nothing like that. He has cut it down, and for that reason, he is pointing a finger to against Venezuela for harboring and holding drugs globally. And today, they are saying that Christians are killed day in, day out in Nigeria. They will come to protect the Christians, which a lot of people, even the bishops, have kicked against this statement.
All right, we'll continue with your analysis. Let us give the barrister a chance to have his say. The question is still on ground. Designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by the United States. You agree or disagree? The momentum at which this is going, where do you stand? Do you agree that beyond the surface there's something more economical or political, or is it a witch hunt by the United States? Or, you know, they're right in their findings that it is time to come in and, you know, help Nigeria solve its security situation. Your stance on the USA's threats?
The simple answer is yes and no.
Okay, yes
and no. Now, the
Let us
last
start
time,
with the yes.
yes, the last time I was in this show, I did refer to the parable by Chinua Achebe that if you bring an ant-infested firewood to your house, you cannot complain when lizards starts to come and feast. Now, the insecurity in Nigeria, it's holistic. There's a bloody mix of killings in this country. Nigerians are being killed on a daily basis. Nobody can deny that. Whether being Christians, Muslims, or pagans, there's no denying that. I think we should move from the trying to put a label of who is being killed. The question is, why are we still being killed in this country? And that's why I say a yes and a no. The American government, I don't think they have our interest at heart, generally speaking. And so the threat by Trump, for me, seemed to be hasty. It doesn't recognize the sovereignty of Nigeria, the idea of diplomacy and dialogue with the Nigerian government, which it should have done. However, we have ourselves to blame. This insecurity in Nigeria has, especially in this recent spate of insecurity, has been going on since last time, 2009 or thereabouts. Boko Haram, the multiplied terrorism, farmers' headers crash, kidnapping. Right now, nobody can travel along any of the highway without being fear of being kidnapped, and nothing is happening. The government have the wherewithal to deal with this. They are not dealing with it. We have now waited for the United States to draw a red line. So for me, it's welcome. Now the discussions are going on. Government know that we need to act. So that is why I say it's a yes or no. No, because I think it's a bit hasty. It disrespects Nigerian sovereignty, and yes, because it's making our government to start issuing statements, at least for now, that they are going to solve insecurity. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's interesting because information getting to us. Most of the information that shall be reading out here is based on research, and I want to carry our viewers along, or that particular viewer who is watching and seriously interested. Now, it says that wary of the continued warning by the United States to undertake a swift bombardment of terrorist enclaves in the country, it has been reported that some foreign headers have been leaving Nigerian territorial boundaries with their head of cattle. That is the information that from a very authentic source, that these headers, in quote, some terrorists are actually leaving in droves. They are crossing the borders. You already know that our neighbors have shut their borders since the threat from the United States. The question I am asking now is, did we need the United States for us to have such an action? If this was possible, if it's possible for you to run terrorists out of Nigeria, how come it had to come at this time? If you say that you do not agree on Trump's designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, why now that the United States have issued the threats do we have situation report that headers are moving out of Nigeria just when the threat came in? I mean, it's a paradox if you ask me. If you say you are against or you are for, we need to draw the lines. Again, I'm asking you, Hassan, why it has to come to this for terrorists to begin to move, the movement of headers, criminals, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. Even though we also have a report that despite the peace deal, bandits killed Katsina community, two Katsina community leaders. We had security reports that there were recent attacks in Benue State. Also, a church was burnt, also attacked, despite the United States threat. So, Hassan, I really want your take on this unfolding situation.
You see, earlier I told you that the federal government or the leadership of Nigeria almost fell over 40 years again. It started falling. And for that reason, the citizens have lost a lot of faith to their leadership, to the leaders of Nigeria. And now that you are saying this is presently what happened. It happens in Kebbi State. I was with some people yesterday from Kebbi State when they were called that these people are running, going out of the country. But a good part of it, the security from Niger Republic are killing them and missing them. They were sending the pictures. I was when I was with them that yesterday around after 9 in the night. What am I trying to say is this: most of these things that are happening, people, you can't say that there is no Nigerians. There are Nigerians. Nobody will deceive you that there are no internal involvement. But what am I trying to say here is that the conspiracy is beyond what we are talking about. The conspiracy involves those who doesn't have Nigeria at heart. You see, we are not patriotic enough. Patriotic enough in the sense that we don't have any other Nigeria than this Nigeria that we have. So we're supposed to come together and salvage all these things. And our people that are maintaining and controlling the security apparatus, I feel that they are not doing much enough. For you to know this, the last coup d'etat that they are talking about, attempt that happened, they were even accusing some officers in the office of the National Security Advisor are involved. And if this is these things is happening, it's a total, what do we call it, loss of faith. And it happens only because things like this are going on in Nigeria. But at least the statement from the United States have called us to put our hands on decks so that we will fight this thing immensely. If hadn't been, they have not said so, maybe this thing that we are seeing now, it will not happen. And for me, I come from the north, and I come from the most blamed tribe. That is a Fulani tribe, for that matter. And for once, I have never supported what was happening. I have a history that nobody, if you are not from that side, you cannot, you won't know the history. Ordinarily, if you are talking, somebody in Lagos or Enugu or Calabar will tell you that General Burate is a Hausa man. How can he be a Hausa man? He has a language. And the state he came from, they see him as a minority at the same time. When you talk about the late chief of staff to the president, former president, Abakari, you will the Southerner that have not traveled far will tell you he is a Hausa man. He is not a Hausa man. He is a Kanuri by tribe. And for your information, the same Kanuri, when you are talking to him about Hausa man, you may hear what, and when you are talking with the Hausa man, you will hear the statement about from other side. So where we get it wrong is that we have, as the barrister just mentioned, that we need to move ahead, or more than talking about whether this is a Christian, this is a Muslim, this is a Northerner, this is. If you will carry all the family of President Tinubu and put them in the cabinet of a federal government, and if the problem of Nigeria will going to be resolved, our economy will going to be straightened, everybody will get his education, you will drink pure and what do we call it, water that have met a world global standard, you will go to hospital that have medical materials and whatever, you will be attended in any types of security problem. If you go to police, they will not tell you police are friends, no bail, and you find out a different thing. I am assuring you, we will going to get better society. Nigerians always showcase a best security personnel when you are talking about peacekeeping in the foreign countries. I could remember during Yugoslavian days, the best security personnel was a policeman from Nigeria. Why not showing it here in Nigeria? But the most important things, we still challenge the federal government. We are not happy with what the United States are saying, but they have maybe are working the federal government from the challenges that they are facing. Let them do it sincerely, honorably. I have seen the chief of air staff day before yesterday addressing the theater commanders. Hit them, kill them. This is what we have been expecting since before now.
All right, so let's give Barrister. I want to hear what Barrister has to say. The information is out that terrorists are actually living in droves. They're moving through. Moving out, headers are actually running out of Nigeria, especially in the northern part of the nation. The question I asked that he has responded to: why wait until the U.S. threat? Number one. Number two, if it's possible to run terrorists out of Nigeria, how come it is happening right now?
I don't think we should be happy that terrorists are running out of Nigeria. They should be decimated, because if they run out, they'll come back. Now, if they run out, they'll come back. We have stories, I don't know verified people, that at a certain time there's a migration to the country, maybe for election or to claim a farmer settlement. These things should not be happening. As Nigerians, we should be ashamed. Nigeria is not in a full-scale war, but we have the lowest life expectancy in the world. Nigeria, if a Nigerian lives beyond 55 years old, he's said to have exceeded the average life expectancy. Why would that be? Because we are not addressing these security concerns. Now, I am happy with President Bola Tinubu's statement that is going to end terrorism using a multi-sectoral approach, using the economy and the military. And that's what should be doing. The cost of Nigerian security is just beyond military fighting. For example, injustice is rooted in our country. For the Boko Haram, for example, if the story is true, the extrajudicial killing of one of the founders escalated this thing by the police. So injustice in Nigeria should be tackled. That is one of the root cause of this thing. For the terrorists living Nigeria in droves, we hope these reports are true, but Nigerian military, Nigerian law enforcement should get them eradicated.
If you just joined us, it is the press as we take a look at U.S. threat. Tinubu vows to defeat terrorism. Analysis of the front pages of our papers. We'll take a short break. When we return, please keep the phone calls coming in. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The phone lines are open right about now. Please display the phone lines so my viewers can call in and be part of the conversation as we take a look at the U.S. threat, as we focus on the promise, the vow by our president to defeat terrorism. And that's exactly what we are going to right now. And I want to start with the barrister. Tinubu says he's going to defeat terrorism. He has vowed to defeat terrorism. My question is, why now? What happened before the U.S. threat? what will happen after the U.S. threat. Hassan has talked about Nigerians not having faith in leadership. It actually took us back to 50 years. Again, the promise has been made, but we're looking at action beyond words. Action beyond words. That is what Nigerians and the entire world is looking at. Now, the president has promised that he will defeat terrorism, of course, based on his reaction on the U.S. threat of actually coming in. Do not forget that there is an outline plan by the United States, and let me read it out again. Military officials say that the proposals labeled are heavy, medium, and light. This is no joke. They are telling us the plan, and for the U.S. to have said it, they don't mince words at all. So I'm asking Barrister,
why not?
The president has said he's going to defeat terrorism. I'm asking what has happened since before now, and should we hold him to his words? What are the plans to defeat? The United States has given us a draft. What draft is the president of president of Nigeria giving Nigerians for us to actually believe that he has the capability, the willpower, the political will to actually defeat terrorism in Nigeria?
So I'm going to give the president the benefit of the doubt. People, they're saying that the best time to start something was yesterday. The next best time is now. So why now is the present. So he has made that commitment. I want to take him for his voice. The United States, I don't think anywhere meaning Nigerian should support an invasion of Nigeria by any foreign body. I don't think that's the right approach. But I actually say, and I've said before, that the statement is welcome from Donald Trump, or the idea that they're going to attack is welcome because it has made our government to say, look, we need to do something. And I hope they put their promise to action, the president and his team, by ruling out not just words, because these are the rhetorics of a statement, are the rhetorics that any Nigerian or any leader can give. If those things are not put into actions, if we don't start seeing results, if we don't start seeing terrorists being killed, if we don't start seeing a Nigerian kidnapped and we don't expect the family to go and pay ransom. In Nigeria, deaths for a long time now, deaths or killings are like numbers. 100 persons killed in Kaduna. Somebody was burnt in Sokoto. Other person, if a mother was killed in Anambra State. It's just figures for us. It doesn't seem common, but these are cries of people. These are people's mothers and children and family members. And if any crime is not resolved, it gives the perpetrator or other perpetrator the impetus to commit more, because they are not brought to justice. Nothing will happen. Those who have committed crime against Nigerians must be brought to justice. And that's once we start saying that, the faith in Nigerian government will be restored.
Hassan, I want your take. Why now? Why this reaction from the president vowing to defeat terrorism? Why not before rather than now that we have the threat of the United States coming in to clean up and do the job that we as Nigerians expect our federal government to do for us? Should we hold, the president said is going to, stay outside and just watch what the president will do with his words, if it will go beyond mere words to action. But the question still remains, why now this promise coming? What are the indicators? Because the United States have told us what they plan to do. It's on paper. What are the indicators that Nigerians can hold on to this vow or this promise by the president to actually defeat terrorism? Before you answer, please, the phone lines are on your screen. Call in and be part of the conversation. Please, Hassan.
Why now? Because we are called to attention. Attention from the United States of America. And mind you very well, it was our voices that they were hearing all this while. It is me, you, and Barisa, and maybe others that were talking. But now a privilege, a favored one, the person with mightiness have spoken, and they have to stand at attention to do the needful. That is why it is now. But I am trying to say something. The government has inherited insecurity in Nigeria. and you cannot deny that one. Secondly, one of the most important things to see is this. The insecurity in Nigeria is going on diversification. What am I trying to say? When it started at Borno, during the late Umaru Yar'Adua, he gave a marching order. I could remember he was traveling to Brazil that time, that everybody that had been seen doing what was happening then should be shoot aside, and he took off that day. I could remember. And later in the day, it continues. Toward the elections of 2015, a lot has been done by the former President Jonathan, where he brought machineries from foreign countries to do that, and within 6 weeks, I could remember, they cut the Boko Haram to size. And when the late president came, he cut also a Boko Haram to size. But when that thing was going, something came up called banditry in the northwest, with the Fulanis or the headers, I can say, with whatever you can think of, whatever it looked like. This is it. Then again, something came up in the southeast, the IPOP and whatever, even stopping people from going to the market each and every Monday of a week. And I want to tell you, he inherited all this thing. Something had even started in the even southwest, Iboko and whatever. That it was locally, you know, they are very advanced in their thinking than any side of the country. They had Ametokum and they copied. When some started to do the same thing in the north, the governors were not supporting it. I could remember some were arrested in Kaduna State and others, that why such a thing was going to happen. But what am I trying to say here is that we must support Mr. President in attacking or tackling this insecurity through his word. He is our president, and we don't have any country, as I said earlier, than Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria, one of it is unpatriotic. We must be very patriotic.
Now, talking about the words of the president, again, I'm going to quote the president. It says, quoting Tinubu, the task ahead is to move forward with clarity of purpose, guided by the renewed hope agenda to build a prosperous Nigeria. Now, talking about clarity of purpose, I think I've asked the question before, the indicator, what will Nigerians see to stand on the words of the president to defeat terrorism? He's talked about clarity of purpose. Do you think the purpose is clear?
There's no
so
roadmap.
far? Was a roadmap towards defeating terrorism, even in the midst of the threats by the United States? Barrister.
As a lay person, I can't see any roadmap. The strategies are not clear. But that doesn't mean at this stage, for me, I'm still very optimistic that the president is going to do well. The roadmap may not be before us, because maybe it's...
Shouldn't we have the roadmap? Shouldn't we have? Because the Americans are giving up, they're laying it down what they're coming to do. Light, medium, tough. They're laying it, we're seeing it. What should be the roadmap? Don't you
we
think
are very we always have a reactionary government who reacts to things. That's what we'll be having all the while, and it's not changing so soon. But, and even though of course we must evolve from that system and give clear-cut roadmap, but we don't have it for now. And we can't manufacture it here. We can't manufacture it here. We're not the security apparatus, we're not the chief of staff, but we can give them what we feel should be the roadmap. Immediately, identify crimes. We should start having I think for one thing that the Nigerian law enforcement have the resources to bring a lot of these criminals to book. It's just a lot of interests are coming in, tribal interest, religious interest, sectional interest, and all that, economic interest. Because some people believe that if terrorism ends, the budget funding to certain arm of government will cease. So there may also be those interests. I want to give President Tinubu a measure of optimism that he's going to do the right thing. And he just made the statement yesterday. I'll see how it evolves from there. I think his team should be working up or drafting a roadmap in reaction to what the Americans are doing.
Now, talking about the roadmap, and of course, one hinged on the renewed hope agenda. Every time you hear the renewed hope agenda as Nigerians, sometimes for me it's conflicting. I find it difficult. I'm just like someone visiting a stranger's house and not even knowing where the door is, how to access, navigate into the apartment, but I really want to get into the house, but I really do not know anyone there. For Nigerians, renewed hope agenda, you're a Nigerian. I would want you, with all that is unfolding, how do you fit in? How do Nigerians fit in this hope that this administration keeps selling? You know, I really want your take, your understanding of the renewed hope agenda in the face of all that we face as Nigerians. Do you feel the renewed hope? Do you feel the hope as a Nigerian? Do you see the possibility of a change? I would really want to get into your mind on this.
Anire, I want to tell you I'm a Nigerian. And we agree that this government, when it comes with the, what do we call it, a name of renew agenda. And we believe in hope to see that renew hope. And by now, there are a lot of things that whether we like it or not, there is that hope. One, removal of subsidy remain very valid and understandable by me. I don't enjoy the difficulties that people are going through, including myself. Even the Mr. President knew that, and he is aware of that. But I'm just telling you that even the global conspiracy was very, very involved during this subsidy of a thing. I could remember the former governor of Bauchi and former Minister of Transportation and Aviation, Malam Isai Guda, once said that during the government of Jonathan then, he was the chairperson of subsidy removal, if you could remember. He said one of his friends met him and said, "Hey, Mr. Governor, please ask Mr. President to remove this subsidy. The money that we are getting there is too much for us. What are we going to do with the money?" I'm just telling you this. And we can see it when he removed this subsidy from that day to now. If you are from Benue State, maybe before they were collecting 4 billion or 10 billion per month as a federal allocation. Today they are collecting 40 or 30 billion naira. And what we need to do is that to ask our money from our governors, where are those money for transparency? What are they doing to contribute in attacking this security? Yes, and when we agree to this, you go to Katana, you go to some state in the west, and some even in the north central, and I don't know some of these states. They have months some security apparatus through the state government, and in some places it is helping a lot. All we need is this justification of how our money has been spent. So if you are talking about renewal, we need to ask our governors to contribute immensely in putting confidence more on this renewal. If you go ahead again, you find the debts of federal government in both internationally and national. You find out that the president, this government has paid a lot of debts that we are now not talking about, which were a threat to the government, to a nation like Nigeria. But today, we know where we are focusing to. Then secondly, a person, a child of nobody, can able to attend university now by that telephone. That is the student loan that introduced by this government. And let me tell you, honestly, what we are witnessing, just recently I was coming back from Johnny. I saw a lot of heavy trucks and machineries, military machineries that are going to the north through Kaduna and whatever. I met them on the way, and that shows that something is happening in real. Because when you are talking, you just not talk by if you are dreaming. No, when you see, you account. That is the truth. And so the new hope is real.
I just want to add that.
Yes, we're rounding up, so please add what you want to say.
I want to say on paper, the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President and the subsidy ruler are beautiful plans. In reality,
but in reality,
Nigeria is hopeless. There's no hope. Things we are not seeing the results. The average Nigerian does not see the results of this laudable program. And we have had 2 years into this government, and then they're still not.
We have less than 2 years now.
We have less than 2 years. There's still a lot to be done, and too many promises, very little kept.
We don't have time. I'm going to share the time between the two of you. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. A message to the United States on behalf of Nigeria amidst this threats coming. So you have, I'll give you a minute, because we still need to talk to our people in our dialect. So let me give you 1 minute, 60 seconds. If you have to talk, send a message to the United States on the threats to Nigeria right now, what would you say?
Personally, I appreciate the concern of the international community towards the insecurity going on in Nigeria, and their voice is a big, huge boost to those who are fighting against insecurity. However, I don't think the United States government or any other government should invade Nigeria at this time.
Hassan? My opinion would be like any other Nigerian, that it is very uncalled for a country like United States, which we have seen in the past wage war against Iraq for invading Kuwait, sometimes 1990s, which was against the Geneva Treaty, and I think we are not far from the same other Kuwait that was protected by United States through the invasion of Iraq then. So I think our sovereignty must be respected by the United States of America, and for our leaders, they should come up, especially Mr. President. He should call the former president. They are very important at this moment to discuss this issue with them with emergency. And then we have to stand firm internationally, because we have seen what other countries are talking about us by supporting our will of being a sovereign country against the United States that want to invade Nigeria.
So, 60 seconds, message to the president of Nigeria on this threat. Yes.
Well, the president, the buck stops on your table. So any problem going on in Nigeria, we're going to blame you. Your name, you have your opportunity to edge your name on gold in the heart of every Nigeria by curbing this insecurity. Because insecurity in Nigeria goes just beyond the life that have been lost. It truncates into the economic life. No farmer is going to the market. You need to step up and do your job.
Hassan.
Mr. President should know that very vividly that leadership can be a court and be successful when there are justice and fairness. And for that reason, I am happy he is one of the only ever in Nigeria who happened to be a president as a Muslim, and his wife a Christian, not only a Christian, but a pastor for that matter. I think he is just like a bridge in between any type of thing called religion conflicts in Nigeria. So he should do more in order to prove himself innocent and a leader that lead from the front.
Okay, so a message to your people in your dialect.
Hey, Hassan, all the countrymen here now, other my might be, Mututu.
Ya ku 'yan Najeriya, wannan lokaci ne da za mu tsaya a kawahuwanmu domin ganin cewar mun mara ma shugaban kasa baya wajen kare mutuncin Najeriya da 'yan Najeriya, musamman a harkar nan na yin barazana kaiwa Najeriya hari daga kasar Amurka, wanda yin haka ya sabawa dokar Geneva ta 1960 na samun 'yancin kai a duk duniya. Wannan shine sakonmu.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate my guests this morning for for coming on the show. I want to appreciate your passion as Nigerians, and although we didn't have any call this morning, remember that the show continues next week, Monday to Friday, right here on Captain Television. My message is, this is Nigeria, where we call our home. We have no other place but here. A great nation, greatest people reside here. The most intelligent people reside here. Greatest humans reside here. This is the greatest nation on the surface of the earth. Human resources, mineral resources, name it. We have everything to attain to greatness. And I tell you, it lies in our hands. This is Nigeria, my home country. I love being a Nigerian. Like I say, I carry Nigeria inside and outside everywhere I go, and I want you to do the same, because nobody will do it for us. My name is Anire Binitie. Thanks for watching the show. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.